Hey traders, welcome to the pittrades.com weekend report. I hope everybody's had a nice weekend. I hope your weather's been as good for you as it has been for us. Wanted to take a look at the charts early here before the opening this evening. It's Sunday afternoon around 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Talk a little bit about a top-down approach and look at a few levels for Monday. We have a lot of news coming out this week, and on Monday we have at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have ISM Manufacturing Index and construction spending. We have a busy week with news this week, and of course that's going to be all capped off with the Friday unemployment report. So we could see some serious volatility early in the week, and then of course it coming and calming down right before the number on Friday. So just be aware of those numbers. Other than that, let's take a look at what's happening in these markets. We knew this is really uncertain times in the market, and you see here after we broke down the 50, we talked about we've been basing here, or back and forth a little channel back and forth here. We call a bull flag, a bear flag. We saw this big whip down and then a snap back. Quite a large range up in the 50% retracement here, and then we sold off from there, only to see it whipping back and forth. But this Friday, end of the month, end of the quarter, really sold off hard this week, and of course we finished and closed at the lows. As a matter of fact, we closed a point off the lows on Friday, which is a big story. Okay, still we haven't had that flushing motion that we're looking for. In other words, a load of volume running through the market and flushing the market out. So I don't think there's the bottoms in yet. However, we tend to see bottoms in October. That's not a hard fast rule. That's just an observed rule. So we'll watch for that to see if we have that action. On a daily chart, we've talked about this. We have three different patterns here. We have a bear flag, we have a head and shoulders, and a wedge that was broken. And one of my favorite patterns to trade is when we have a flag or some type of channel. It breaks the channel and returns back to the scene of the crime, which is a real low risk, high probability area to get short, and this one has paid off very nicely. Now, as before, we talked about this level at the 22-23 area. Matt had talked about that level many times, and again, it came into play on Friday. Now we're looking to see the follow through this week. Chance that we're going to get down to 1077 is very high. Whether it happens this week or next week, we'll have to wait and see. Some levels to look at for Monday. Just be very cautious this week, guys. I say that every week, of course, but let's be cautious. Let's be patient to wait for our setups. Right now, you have to sell the rips. Okay, every rip is going to have to be sold until when, not sure, but the path of least resistance is on the downside. Okay, we have this trend line from the high of last week at 1190 down to the low here at 1121 and halves. To the upside, the first natural area of resistance is going to be up here at this break of Friday, which is 1134, 1135 and halves, up into the 1137 level. But guys, don't even think about getting long in this market, not until we bust back above this pivot high, or this pivot, weekly pivot. Then if you feel compelled to, you could probably start nibbling on some, looking for the 58 area up here. That's a nice 10-point range right there. It gives you plenty of risk reward measures. Now in this 58 level, we just might as well call it 58 to 59. I got a bunch of numbers here. This thing should create some resistance on the way up. Now if we get legs and blow through that, the next level, next stop on the bus would be that 68 to 70 level. I've got another couple big numbers up there. A small number at 1176 for some target taking if you are long into this thing, and of course major stops above the 1190 area. They'll run those stops if they go up there, and then we'll have to see where we take this thing. We could end up going back up to those recent highs up at the 1212 area. So we'll watch those levels on the upside. On the downside, of course, it's going to be below the low of 1121 halves. And then I have that number at 1110, 1111. We've been talking about for a few weeks now. Below that, I have two good numbers, 1095, 1099 area could come into play on Monday. And of course, down here at the 1076, 1077 level. So with that, gang, sit on the sidelines maybe for the first hour on Monday. Let's see how this thing shakes out. Wait for news to come out. Trade well this week. Be smart, be patient, and look for our videos. We'll talk to you then. Take care.